Hi, welcome to another video. In this video I will be talking about my experience at the World Championship and the Last Chance Qualifier. We'll see a couple battles, not too many. I'm gonna try to make it a bit of a short video, just going real quick through the most important things in my opinion. First off, our World Championship has a very impressive opening ceremony. It looks really nice, and with a nice opening ceremony always comes very nice spawns with this event, right? As you can see here, a lot of lures are on. There's Deorization and Zamazenta rates on and off every hour. I got quite some shinies and some starters here, so it was really nice for just spawns, for just hanging there as well, right? You don't just play sometimes on stage, you usually play your battles at tables. This is actually a picture I made at the EUIC. As you can see here, there's like 2 phones on every table. They're always on chargers, so it's a bit scary if they get overheated, and the phones that are used are Samsung A52, which in my opinion isn't really ideal for playing Pokemon Go PvP on, especially because in this current update, Android often experience frame drops. Except the ones on stream. I'm not sure if they use the same phones there, but if you played on stage on the main stage on these phones, like right here, I saw very little lag here, so that was pretty ideal. The LCQ didn't go very well for me. I was already a bit frustrated because the tournament started like 2 hours late, and then I think I started my first battle after 4 hours or so, right? The tournament in the end took 14 hours, and yeah, that wasn't ideal. It was a bit of poor organization. Good thing the World Championship itself went really well, but I felt a bit like a guinea pig there, and it wasn't really fun. So yeah, I actually lost 1 round and then I just dropped out. It's double elimination, so you can lose just once and still can try to go for it, but I just couldn't bother sitting there for another 8 hours. One last thing that's the best about these things is community. If you want to see more of these pictures that I made, you can check my Twitter for that. I made a lot of pictures with a lot of awesome people, and I didn't even get everyone, to be honest. Yeah, that was just really a lot of fun. That's actually what I came for in the first place. LCQ was something that came afterwards, the Last Chance Qualifier. One more tip that I want to give you. If you plan on playing these and you know there's going to be a stream, the Pokemon Company does not like other brands on, or they can't show other brands on stage. So I brought one and you get a free shirt. So really nice, really nice. That's something you might want to know. Other than that, I'm going to show you some of my Open Great League battles. Show 6, pick 3 that I played on stream here. I will also put the link of the stream in the description. And yeah, I'm just going to talk a bit about that as well. If you want practice for some of these Open Great League tournaments in the future, I will be hosting these weekly in my Discord from the new season/moveset update. So let's take a look real quick. Let me pause here real quick. As you can see here, my line in the top right is Swampert, A9, Medicham, Lickitung, G-Fisk, and Venusaur. I'm naming them like not in that order because my team is built out of 3 random cores. At some point, I was just clueless about what to run. You might never know in the end what's the most optimal thing to run, because in Open Great League you're always super weak to something. In my case, I wouldn't like to see a Trevenant particularly. And so my team basically consists of the core of Swampert A9. There's not a lot that beats that. G-Fisk and Venusaur, there's not a lot that beats that as well. And Lickitung and Medicham, there's not much that beats that either. Venusaur is a bit of a special pick. I discussed this with Toad Tactical a couple times. Decided to run it after a few scrims against him. It played really well with it, so decided to use that, and it was pretty nice until my first opponent ran a freaking Kanto Ninetales. My opponent, Bastiamax, a really nice guy. I played him in Seville as well. I had a 7-0 sweep there with Araquanid and Lucario. Yeah, that was actually a good tournament of mine. And yeah, his team is actually pretty difficult. Walrein Araquanid Water, Swampert is triple water. That actually isn't even that great for Venusaur. Walrein is a very dominant Pokemon. Shadow Walrein actually wins some zero shields against some fighters like Obstagoon and can win against Scrafty. Normal doesn't, but it's still a very annoying Pokemon. It's one of those Pokemons where you're like, is this an Ice Spear or an Earthquake? Really annoying to deal with. Yeah, obviously Araquanid does have a lot of fast move pressure, but it has Bug Buzz and Bubble Beam. That's pretty tough to deal with. Let's just click play here and go into these battles before I start rambling for 20 minutes about just teams here. We'll just see what we both run. I'm gonna run probably one of my cores that I just named and then a random Pokemon in between or up front. Let's see. As you can see, I'm wearing the Play Pokemon shirt there too for free. One of the things that I want to bring here is my Shadow Venusaur. It has a lot of play, except against Kanto Ninetales. And looks like I lead Lickitung, and in the back I have my Medicham, right? That's my core Lickitung, Medicham, and then I have my Venusaur as a safe swap here. My opponent goes straight for the Earthquake here. It's quite an unusual play. It does land. Like Lickitung's barely shield, right? But I don't need Switch as much. Preferably at this point, I'm thinking, oh, I want my Venusaur in that Swampert, so I kind of don't want to bring it in here. But yeah. Our Araquanid is a very bulky bug type. The Bug Bite is a pretty poor fast move, to be honest, so it doesn't really add up. And the painful thing about Araquanid is that its most expensive charge move takes so long to get to. Look at this. It already took 3 of my body slams before it can finally fire this Bug Buzz. And this is in perfect farm down range, to be honest. I may otherwise have shielded. The Bug Buzz will take me out, and I actually like that because now I can get a very nice farm down. He might get to a Bubble Beam, but he barely does not. So that's a really good farm down on my side. And at this point, obviously, I'm praying that there's no Kanto Ninetales in the back, or that if so, he will bring it in, because Swampert doesn't really like to take this energy either. But it looks like my opponent on the right side, Bestiamox, is predicting the Venusaur in the back, or maybe the Kanto Ninetales, my Alolan Ninetales, or my G-Fisk. And that's a very good prediction by him, because the Kanto Ninetales indeed is very good for him. I'm going to go straight Frenzy here, because I want him to no-shield it, right? I want him to think like, wait, this is just a Frenzy. I don't need to shield that. Unfortunately, he does shield that. So yeah, now he has a lot of energy on this Kanto Ninetales, which is pretty bad for me. Ovid would take me out. I can take a Weather Ball here, but I will shield the first move. I cannot shield the second one, because I know that he will just get 2 Weather Balls regardless. So I'm probably looking to no-shield one of these moves. I also know that he might be able to get to 2 overheats, so there's absolutely no point in shielding here at all. Let's see if I can get him, take this thing out. I do get to that Ice Punch, but I think I'm way too low to take out the Swampert at this point now. The Ice Punch goes through, take it out, and oh, that's so close! I got very close this game. So basically what you see in these games usually, that's usually, not always, because if you're battling for a long time, you might just run ridiculous lines. But usually you'll see that people tend to run a core, right? That could be just your general core, like a Venusaur G-Fisk, which is known in the Go Battle League as well. But it could also be based on your opponent's lines. So Bestiamox, I think, will always be running something like a Swampert Walrein core. There's nothing on my line really that beats that. There is the Medicham and Lickitung that obviously come very close, and the Alolan Ninetales. But in general, that core has a lot of play. See, I'm 1-0 I'm 1-0 behind here. That's actually pretty tough for me. And I'm just gonna have to predict what my opponent is gonna bring. What I tend to do with this line is just use one core and then another Pokemon. That was basically my game plan. Your gameplay can be so good, but if you don't have a solid game plan, you lose regardless. Let's skip a bit ahead to see what we're gonna use here. Alright, here we go. I'm leading again, Lickitung. I'm just running the same line, to be honest. I think it was a really solid line, and I'm just going to run it again. And my opponent did adapt. He is going for triple water with Araquanid in the lead. He's probably trying to catch my my Swampert or Medicham with this. As you can see, it takes very long for a Rockman to go to the charge move. So I shield this. And now it takes forever for him to get to another one. So that's actually a really good shield on my side. He swaps in Wall Ring, which I kind of want to throw a Power Whip in, but also not. So I held back. I did not throw my charge move, and I swapped right at the point where I know that he will not be able to get to another Ice Spear here, which would threaten me, right? So yeah, I'm just gonna land this Psychic here. If he shields, I might have to shield too for some alignment. But his Araquanid is pretty low, so it's not that much of a threat regardless. I will even get to a Psychic here that will take him out, to be honest. So this is actually looking very good for me. Another Psychic comes through. I got a little bit of a frame drop there, but that's alright. Doesn't make difference. It does make a difference here. And the Psychic, despite being debuffed, will take him out. Very nice. And then he gets the Mudshot down, but as you can see, I'm running the same line, and this is where Venusaur shines. I kind of wanted to play with my food here by bringing in Lickitung, giving him hope, but I was like, nah, let's just finish this real quick. So yeah, my opponent goes for the Earthquake here. That is the win con. I don't think an Earthquake from normal Swampert one-shots me, but it will do a lot of damage. There's absolutely zero reason to no-shield there. So yeah, basically, what you see here, this was a very alignment dependent match, and I told my opponent, I heckin' love RPS, right? I was very nervous. It sometimes just really comes down to your game plan or just having lucky picks, and the same goes for my opponent. I know that he was thinking very hard to get my picks right as well. So yeah, let's see how I play the third battle here on stage. I really like playing on stage. As you can see, I didn't have my Pelipper in my team this time, but I did bring a plushie to have it support me. Right, I hecking love Pelipper. Alright, let's see. I think we're almost going in here. So yeah, this is basically on the stage. Pokemon Go had the middle stage in at the World Championships. Really shows how much it's growing, to be honest, the PvP side, and that's just really awesome, I think. So yeah, I want to like expand the opportunity for players to compete in that with weekly Great League tournaments. I lead my Alolan Ninetales, with which I had not brought yet, and is very good against Sableye and Walrein. But I decided to swap in my G-Fisk anyway. That was kind of a quick reflex and maybe a bad decision, because I know it's going to be an Alolan Ninetales answer in the back. So this was not a great play by me. You might recognize this line. I made a video of this. It's the Alolan Ninetales double ground. Sometimes Go Battle League lines just work very well in Show 6. Big 3 as well. I'm gonna throw my Rock Slides right away. The reason why is because I wasn't counting very well at this point. The headset I'm wearing makes very loud white noise, and it can be a bit distracting sometimes. Sometimes it helped me focus, but in this case I was distracted pretty easily. So I'm just gonna throw immediately because I don't want to risk getting hit by an Earthquake before I even throw my Rock Slide. And as you can see, he was exactly at that Earthquake. I was nodding earlier on the left a little bit because I know that now he's in Mudshot down range. This is all good. You know, sometimes if you make a mistake, you can still try to adapt to that, right? So I just Mudshot this down. The Sableye will faint to Hydro Cannons, and I should be in a very good spot. If you are Shadow Swampert in this case, you might even want to consider Earthquaking. Swampert is by far one of the best closers in this game. So yeah. I'm counting his moves very thoroughly this time, right? I don't want to risk CMPing with him. Some people have a Hundo Sableye or something which wins CMP gets Swamperts. So I don't want to risk that. And in the back is an Earthquake. As you can see me smiling on the left side a little bit. You don't see it too well because of the face masks. The Earthquake is going to go through. I'm happy. I know I'm going to win this. The Earthquake does so much damage, and my opponent knows that this is over. So the first two games I played the Lickitung Medicore, and this time the Swampert A9 core, and my opponent BMs me. We're having a good laugh, and that was fun. That was fun. I really like playing on stage there. There's always a lot of respect between battlers as well. Yeah, I don't know, but once I'm off stage, I usually play a bit worse, which is kind of unfortunate, right? So yeah, if you want to play in these regionals, there's gonna be more of them. Right, we have the North American here. I will post this link in the description as well, so you could take a quick look for yourself. There will be a lot of, especially in North America and Europe. There might be more announced later as well, and the internationals have not been announced yet. In which city they will be in, specific locations or regions. So yeah, myself, I will be going to Lille, to probably to Bochum and to Utrecht. That's 3 regionals, and next year the Worlds will be in Yokohama in Japan. I hope I pronounced it right. But I'd love to go to Japan sometime, so hopefully I can win one. I wasn't lucky this year, but maybe next year will be better, as long as I don't face Shadow Swanna. Thank you for watching, and hope you liked the video. Have a good one.